mistake. And all the problems in my life have gotten so congealed together and interlinked, and many of them I just can't talk about with anyone, and so I need to get it out, and I don't want to feel insane, so I'm making another video. I guess I'll just rip the band-aid off. I took someone's virginity last night, and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think all the things that I've believed in, all the things that I've strived for, I seem to just keep failing them. Anyway, I should probably start from the beginning. Like, for a few months I've been on Hinge, and I've been trying to get a date, I've been trying to get a girlfriend, trying to, find the right person who's going to make me happy and I can make them happy. I was talking with this girl Maeve, right? This girl Maeve is really cool. She's a bit interesting to begin with, very sort of standoffish and a bit interrogative, but she's cool, right? I end up sort of finding out that she's got a lot of the same problems that I do, and I don't mean that in like a... not problems, but she's got a lot of the things in her head that I do, and she talks really eloquently, and I really like that. I like that I could sort of be, she could match my level of thinking. So we talked for a few days, and things got a bit interesting on a call on maybe the third day. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is all just set up. We seem to really like each other, and we seem to have a lot of the same sort of beliefs and afflictions and all sorts of things. And I start like going, okay, maybe I like this girl. She seems really cool. And so from that day on, I sort of like set myself aside. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to pause my Hinge account. I'm going to not that it would happen in such a short amount of time, but this person is special to me now, so I'm not going to entertain any other ideas with any other people. And the next day, it's similar, but Maeve seemingly has this, she says it herself, she doesn't like to feel pressure. She doesn't like to feel forced. She's a very independent person. And on the one hand, she was like really like feeling the same way that I did. But on the other hand, she was like, "This is, I haven't even met you in person. This is crazy." Anyway, things go on, and after some discourse, basically, I could see where it was going from a mile off, but I wasn't too disappointed. We handled it in a very mature way. We both wanted, essentially, she wanted a platonic deep connection. I wanted the romantic deep connection. That's just how it was. I was willing to wait. I was willing to make it work, but, from her perspective, she couldn't just set herself aside in the same way for someone that she only wanted to see platonically. And she also, she admitted, like, she isn't really over her last boyfriend, or at least, she's in that phase where she wants to get a rebound to sort of just forget about it. I don't know. She was open and honest about all these things, and I really didn't mind how it turned out in that way. But on the day that we actually decided, no more contact between us, this other girl who I had matched with previously, and then just sort of became friends with, Sarah. And Sarah was really sweet. She lives a long way away from me. And got her own challenges, and she's a bit awkward, but she was really sweet, right? I met up with her, just hung out, got some ice cream, went for a drive. She showed me how little there is to do in her hometown. Pointed out some architecture. It was nice. Anyway, a few weeks passed, and I explicitly said earlier in the day that me and Maeve decided not to do anything to each other, pursue anything with each other. Sarah sort of started flirting with me on Instagram DMs, and I had to say, listen, I'm really flattered. Like, I don't really get this kind of treatment very often, but I've got this person I'm talking to, so it's just how it is. I don't want to double time anymore. And she didn't take it that well. She didn't say anything about it, but she just didn't go like, oh yeah, I understand. It was just like a silent, okay. And then later that night, me and Maeve, can't really work it out. So I sent this girl a text. I'm like, hey, guess what? That girl that I mentioned, she cut me off. Do you want to hang out tonight? And she's like, sure. Man, that was literally last night. Like, you probably mentioned a bit of stuff about Maeve. Maeve, I liked where it was going with her. It was only 3 days, so nothing. Just nothing that's going to affect me long term. But there is the knowledge that she really accepted me just for who I was. And that's kind of my struggle. I don't find people who accept me for who I am, or at least when I don't, it makes me feel very. I used to just ignore it. I've acknowledged in recent times that is really important to me. That I don't feel judged just for my own story, judged for being who I am, for the way that I came to be, the way that I am. And Maeve was really good for that. Like I said, she was very intellectual, just like me. And we both agreed that human beings are human beings, and we're all flawed in our own little ways. And it's much better to be accepting and loving of those things than judgmental. There's literally no point being judgmental. It just causes pain. So, losing that connection. I also told Maeve some things that I'd never told anyone else. So yeah, it does. It doesn't sting. It's just I wouldn't quite call it sting, and I wouldn't quite call it bummed out. But it's just it's the knowledge that I could have had that, and it didn't quite pan out. And it was something that made me feel really seen, really loved. In the essence of the word. So yeah, that sort of doesn't work out, and then I go to hang out with Sarah. And same deal. Sarah's moved house, I go pick her up, drive around for a bit. It's like really nice rainy weather. It's like cold and rainy, but like it's a nice vibe. We go for a stroll through a car park. We find this little garden path that goes to a little sports club area where there's a pontoon. There's a bit of an undercover area. And we sit down. We chat, and complain about the cold. And I give her my jacket. And it's all very fine. Just sort of chill. But I went into this encounter with the foreknowledge that she was flirting with me earlier. So you come mentally prepared. That's where I'm concerned. I also came physically prepared, if you catch my meaning. And we're gonna get to it, but I don't know what I was thinking at all. Anyway, we're just sitting on the bench, and little by little we're getting a little bit closer, a little bit more touchy, and she's like fluffs up my hair. She's like, oh my god, it's so fluffy. And then I remember the way that she was flirting with me earlier is I sent a video of me patting my guinea pig, and she was like, I'm so jealous, and like a bunch of letters, like letter soup. And that was when I said like hey, listen, I'm so flattered, but. And so, she touches my hair. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. And then I'm like, here you go. You can have your wish fulfilled. And then I pat her on the head of it. And then, it goes on from there. It goes on from there. You understand. It goes from just sort of like nudging up against each other, and then giving each other a full hug, and then standing up and giving each other a full hug. There was a dog owner walking. It was like, this is very early in the morning, because like I left to go see her at like 10 o'clock at night. She lives 2 hours away from me. I'm currently driving back from the town. And so it was very late. I got there at 20 past 12. And I don't know, I guess in my head, like I should have been home at 6. At least 4. So I know I had to get home. And then I was like, oh, well, actually, I can get the responsibilities that I had at home at that time to be handled by someone else, and so I did. I don't know. It was very sweet. Me and Sarah just sort of cuddled, and then we decided, hey, this is fucking freezing cold, so we walked back to the car, and I'm not even saying all this stuff. We walked back to the car, and he's just about to get in the regular passenger seat, and I'm like, hey, you want to like cuddle on the back for a bit? He's like, yeah, sure. And then so I move all this shit out of the back and into the boot. And we sit up and we cuddle, and she falls asleep in my arms a few times. It was very, very wholesome and sweet. And then we just sort of keep snuggling, keep cuddling. It's all fine. It's freezing cold. She's still wearing both of the jackets, so I'm just kind of freezing my tits off, but it's okay. reason I said so, like, essentially in a veiled way asking, do you want to be my girlfriend now, is because I didn't want to teach someone that they were just, you know, in their first experience, they were just going to be used for someone else's, you know, pleasure and then discarded. If I'm going to do that, then I'm going to commit to them. And I don't even know this girl at all. I to a degree, right? But and so we hang out at her house, and, you know, technically we're boyfriend and girlfriend now. It's how it is. And she's really sweet. She's really, really sweet. Like, really sweet. She's just very quiet and very autistic and very simple. Not simple, but, like, you know, she's got a little special interest. She's got books all over her wall and stuffed teddy bears. She's very similar to my ex-girlfriend, and it's like, it doesn't really bother me, but it does, like, raise up the alarm bells for the same type of way that the first relationship broke apart, was the fact that that kind of person just can't love me because I'm not a simple person. And I decided to hang out with her a bit longer. We woke up from the nap at her house at like 1. And we did a few more things in the bed or whatever. And I'm checking with her the whole time. You know, you got, like, she's not non-verbal. She's just very, yeah, all good. I don't know. It's hard to tell if she's telling the truth. You know, everything seems to go fine. I'm like, well, I don't want to just, like, dip on her after betting her, so I'm like, yeah, let's go out. So we go out, we get some brekkie, lunch really, and she starts getting this, like, stomach pain, and that whole becomes this whole thing. I just dropped her off at the hospital because she's got, like, this terrible stomach pain. She says she gets it sometimes, but, like, it's really bad this time, so I urged her to go to the doctor, and she is. Yeah, like, we're, like, holding hands, and she's very clingy, and I like that. It's really sweet. Like, she's gorgeous, by the way. She is one of the prettiest girls I've ever seen in my entire life. In, like, a model kind of alien, like, perfect symmetry kind of way. And she has an incredible fashion sense too. It's just, I'm sitting there at lunch across from her, and she's just quiet because of the stomach ulcer, right? She's literally just, like, in so much pain, but I just can't help but sit there and think, I've just committed to this girl that I don't know, and, you know, am I going to be able to just have a relationship that's just me giving to this sweet person? Can I do that? Because that's kind of what I failed to do the last time. Because, you know, Madeline was sweet. She was, you know, in the superficial ways, like, I don't want to say superficial ways, because you put in effort in those ways, but, like, you know, making meals and, you know, planning things, stuff like that. But the problem with her is that she would never talk to me, she would never open up to me, she would never listen to what I had to say. She would never, and whenever I opened up, she would always judge me and make me feel like I was less than a person. And I'm sitting there at lunch, like, going, okay, yeah, this can definitely work. Yeah, I just have to treat this like it's, you know, like she's just, you know, she's this sweet thing that I'm just going to cultivate. But immediately, and maybe it's just because I'm feeling this way because I have to get home, you know, on my mind, I'm like, okay, I feel like shit. I got to get home. Oh, I just missed this. Oh, I got to, you know, call my grandmother for her birthday when I get home, and, you know, and everyone's wondering where I am because I've been out since fucking 10 o'clock at night, and then it's like, you know, the next morning and shit, and I'm getting home at like 6 right now. I'm gonna get home at 6 in the afternoon the next day, and I'm just thinking I've got all this stuff now. I've got all this extra responsibility on top of what I was already doing. My own life I was already managing, and now I've got this. Now I've got a girlfriend who I don't know, who lives, you know, 150 kilometers away from me, has a bunch of her own issues, and I don't know what to do, and I don't think she's going to be able to make my life better. So, but I can't just say I don't want to be in a relationship with you, because what would that make me if I did that? And like, it was, yeah, I can say, oh, it was just mutual. I'm like, if I found out after a few days that like that person isn't for me, then whatever. But that's not how I think. It's like, how could I do that? I'm going to be teaching her that she's just worthless, basically. She's just only good for her looks, and I don't want to do that to someone. I really don't. I've gotten so angry at people who've done things like that in the past. I just don't think I have the strength to just... It's bad enough when I'm on my own. That's why I was searching for someone to try and make me feel less lonely. And I've just gone and done something on a whim. And my options are suffer in silence again, and not to mention that it's gonna be like, what in my mind, I don't think it's gonna go well, so it's gonna end sometime, right? And then it just depends how much time between then and the end. And then I think, well, I'm just wasting, I'm 21 years old. I'm not gonna be 21 forever. I'm not gonna be I'm gonna blink and I'm gonna be 25, and then certain opportunities in life are gonna have passed me by. And that's exactly what I did with Madeline. I was 18. I just turned 19, and I wasted. I didn't waste, but like I just feel like I learned things. Sure, I learned lessons about what I can tolerate in a relationship. And now, but what am I doing right now? Like, let's say she doesn't treat me in a way that makes me feel okay, and she's not going to understand that. She's not going to know. She'll just assume again. I just don't want to hurt her. I just really don't want to hurt her. I just met her, and I just don't want to hurt her. And like, I never should have even entertained it, because I could tell that she wasn't the kind of person that, like, I don't know why I didn't think. I just wanted to go be with someone. Like, I didn't, like, I did, and that's the thing though, like, I can say I didn't expect anything, but I did prepare, like, as if it might have happened. So what does that make me? Like, I could have thought about it. I could have put two and two together. Oh, if you actually do this, Isaac, and if you don't like this girl, then you're going to have to leave her, and that's going to hurt her. Fuck. And she's really sweet. Like, she's really sweet. She was in a wheelchair a month ago for 5 months. She's got like a terrible heart condition, and she feels pain all the time, and I think she has an eating disorder, and she's the same kind of person as Madeline was, but honestly doing a lot worse than Madeline was. Oh, I don't know about that. Maybe she does have more hobbies, I guess, but I don't know. And she's like really not socially there, and neither was Madeline. She just sort of coped and went along with the group, and liked to save face a lot, whereas this girl is a bit more just sort of independent and insular. Man, fuck. I just feel like I'm repeating a mistake, and I feel like I shouldn't have done that. It feels like I've made a mistake. It's not the action itself, it's the consequences of it down the line. I don't necessarily want to get out of it. I want it to work, but that's what I did with Madeline. I didn't immediately think, oh, this isn't going well, I want to leave. I think, how can I make this work? And then I did that for a year and 9 months, just trying to make it work with this person who didn't fucking care the same way, who didn't think the same way, who didn't think, let's make this work. They thought, what can I tolerate? I don't know. I don't want to be alone again in my own fucking head, and then giving everything to a girl who doesn't understand anything about what it's like to be me. And I just don't want to hurt her. I don't want to hurt her. it's too late? What if I, like, she's never done anything like that with anyone. And I've just, it's a little bit borderline for reasons I won't explain for Viscera, but she's going to think back on that moment for the rest of her life as that moment. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, right? But, I don't really think about my first time that fucking often anymore. Even though it was significant to my life, like really significant to my life. I cherished it for a long time, but it's been, what, 4 years almost? No, it's almost, I guess, 3 years, and it's a rainbow. It's been 3 years, and I don't know, the details are starting to go fuzzy, which is sad to say. I don't want it to be that way. I hate losing memories. It feels like I'm losing part of myself. I still remember how I felt, but what if that fades too? I don't know, I crave connection, and I'm not getting it, and I'm repeating mistakes, and I'm not. I was so close. I had such a good routine. I had 3 different hobbies I was pursuing. And I was going to work, and I still got TAFE, and it's just so hard to care. I want someone to care about, but I just don't want it to feel like a prison again. I don't want to feel like I'm not allowed to be myself. And sure, she I just met her. She hasn't done that stuff yet, but it just feels the same. It wasn't actually the shit that Madeline did to me that made me upset. It was the fact that it made me feel like I couldn't open up to her. I couldn't be myself around her. And now with this girl, she's just so non-verbal and so different from me that I feel the same way. Even though she hasn't done anything bad to me, I feel the same way. I just feel like I can't connect. There's no hope for the future that I could be myself and she would understand, I just want to be loved. I need someone who's capable of loving me, and I don't think this girl is. I'll try it. I guess I'll try it. What else am I supposed to fucking do? But now I'm locking myself in, and then if I give it a month, and I go, it's the same fucking thing, isn't it? Isn't it just as bad? Aren't I still going to be hurting her? Maybe it's a bit better that I tried, but she's not going to see it that way. And who am I to set a deadline on when I like someone? I know people do that, but I don't want to be that kind of person. I don't want to be I just don't want to be this selfish monster. I'm so alone all of the time, and I do really, really want someone to care about me. I just don't want to hurt someone doing it. I'm sick of hurting people. I don't think I have hurt that many people, but it just feels like it. It feels like I'm terrible. It feels like I'm a fucking monster. I'm just afraid. I'm so afraid. I still think, I don't think on it, but I just want to feel like I felt the first time. The first few months when I just thought everything was possible and there was hope, I got a little dose of that with that Maeve girl. It was like nothing yet. I hadn't developed any feelings, but it was the idea that I could be free again. I don't want to spend my whole life chasing an illusion that I had when I was fucking 18 years old. Because that's what it was. It was just, I just felt good because it was an illusion. It was perfect because it wasn't true. But in my head, I believe it could be perfect. I believe that she genuinely let me down. It wasn't just that it wasn't true, it was that it could have been true and she didn't make it happen. Because I never mattered that much to her. I didn't matter as much as she mattered to me, you know? Like I told her, I changed everything about who I was when I fell in love with her, and she didn't change at all. What does that tell you? It wasn't some transformative experience for her, you know? It was just getting a boyfriend to her, and she was happy about it, but she wasn't like spiritually changed. Not spiritually, but like, I guess that's kind of what it was. A change of spirit. I became a different person. I assumed a different identity. I got no one else to talk to this about. Maybe I do. Maybe I could just talk to other people. But you know, like whenever I fucking do, whenever I open up, I just get fucking hurt. I just get hurt because they listen and then they tell. Even right now, I'm pursuing some fucking illusion that someone on the internet will give a shit about me. No one will. These videos get like 20 fucking... They get 20 fucking views, man. Like... It was meant to be music in the background this whole time. I just realized it. Day outside, birds are singing, flowers are blooming. Days like these, kids like me should be burning in hell. But why do I hate myself? Like genuinely, like if I look at my life experience from my perspective, it doesn't really seem like it doesn't really seem like it's my fault, you know? It seems like it's the fucking world's fault for not understanding. I just don't want to be lonely. I don't want to be lonely in all these thoughts, all these feelings. If you couldn't tell yet from the vent video, you know, I'm just sick of being judged by everyone. I'm sick of. I don't even know if I do get judged. Am I just imagining it? Am I just imagining what I think people would think if I told them everything that goes on in my head? Like. I don't know if I'm the villain or if I'm the victim or if I'm just being weak or if I need to be strong or if I have been strong or I don't know any of it. I just desperately I teeter and totter between these absolute proclamations of yeah, absolutely, I have done as good, you know. I know in my heart that I've always had good intentions and I've always done everything I could have within reason to better the lives of those people around me who I care about. Even the people that I don't particularly care about, I make sure I care about them. Like, no one sees any of that. No one understands me. No one sees the little good deeds I do because they're spread out between 250 fucking people. You know, it's like more than that, but. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm a good person. I try, right? But no one else knows that. And so how can I ever get close to someone without them thinking that no one gets the right impression. No one understands me. Even the people closest to me seem to they don't predict my actions or my thoughts correctly. They can't. Like my best friend can't even. People think things of me that they shouldn't. That it doesn't make any sense to think things of me for. Fuck, I'm losing my fucking brain. people expect me to do these terrible things sometimes. I'm like, why would you expect me to do that? And then again, I do shit like this, where it's like, yeah, maybe they're fucking right. Well, they're not. I know they're not right because they don't know any of this shit. They don't see the bad parts of me either. So how are they fucking guessing? The reality is that they're not. Well, they are exactly. They're guessing, right? They're not predicting. They're guessing. They just think bad of me because of their 20 minutes of exposure to my personality. It's just, it's hopeless. It feels hopeless. Ugh. Whenever I get close to getting what I want, like with Maeve, it just disappears. The thin air. Maybe I should have just taken her fucking deal and been friends. Maybe I would have felt better about it. Maybe she was right when she pointed out that me thinking that I need to tell my intimate partner and only my intimate partner all of my secrets and all of my, troubles and all that kind of stuff. Maybe that is toxic, and I said it. I said, yeah, I know it is toxic. That's the way I want to live my life, and it's true. I want to live my life that way. I don't know why I didn't think about this before I went and saw her, and I don't know why. I know it's completely counterintuitive to what I just said, but I also don't know why I said. I don't know the motive reason why I said, and you're my girlfriend now, right? Like, why am I doing this to myself? But also, like, it would be terrible if I didn't, but would it have been like, I don't know. Like, she just as easily she could have just not taken it that seriously. I mentioned to her, we're strangers, this is crazy. She's like, yeah, it is, but, I think it's fine. You're handsome, it's okay, you can do whatever you want. It's like, my lust for the touch of the flesh and my lack of foresight has resulted in me now getting someone else attached to me. I didn't have to say that. I didn't have to make her my girlfriend. It could have just been what it was. Why did I do that? Was it actually a righteous action, or was it just me, mimicking a righteous action? I'm not fucking Rob Stark. I'm not marrying I'm not marrying, what's her name? Jane Westerling because I bettered her, right? And it's the honorable thing to do because she'd be besmirched, otherwise. Like, it's not like that. So why did I do it? Now she probably cares about this connection. Is it better to rip the band-aid off now? Be like, hey, listen, like, would she even understand if I said, like, basically, I'm a very complicated person and I don't think you'd be able to make me feel okay because you're not linguistically gifted enough, or you're not intellectual enough, or whatever. What am I gonna do? I don't just want to rip a band-aid off and feel selfish for the rest of my life. Feel like I let someone down. But in the same way, why do I keep letting myself down? Why do I keep allowing everyone to walk all over me? Like I'm a fucking doormat. I've been working on it. I've been getting better. I've been getting better at saying no. I've been getting better at valuing myself and my menial everyday wants and needs over everyone else's. And here I am, I don't know what to believe. Am I doing the right thing or am I doing the wrong thing? Am I punishing myself for nothing? Am I causing hurt that could be avoided if I just said, no, we can't do this? Why did I put myself in this position in the first place? Why did I do any of that stuff? Was I just feeling bored? Was I that insecure? Or am I that insecure? Like, Christ. Why couldn't I just fucking sit down and sleep? I didn't have to do any of that. It was hard. It's still hard. I feel like shit. I went to the gym and then I didn't eat anything, and then I didn't get any water either because I didn't take any, and I didn't even take any coffee. I took coffee, but I watered it down, so I can't even fucking stay awake. And I did a 2-hour drive, and then I stayed up all night, and then oh my God. In the same way, I might feel like all of this is pointless and I just don't want to be around people, but I'm pretty sure if I was completely alone, with no one else around, cabin in the woods, I'd fucking kill myself. This chase, the chase of meaning, the chase of trying to make this work is like my life's mission, my purpose. I gotta be honest and acknowledge that, because it's true. This is what I live for. I live for this fight between myself and my better judgment and other people. Here's the worst part of it. No, it's not the worst part of it, but it's such a significant contributor to the loneliness that I realized today pulling out of like a KFC car park. I feel so much more listening to music and engaging in stories. That little monologue by Jax and Pomni. I feel so much more vicariously through shit like that than I do in my actual life. And when the only time that I let my guard down and actually did feel that kind of way for something, it blew up in my face. Whenever I do feel anything, it feels like it just blows up in my face. No matter who I open up to, whether they're online or on a call or in real life. I'm terrified of doing it in real life. There's just something about it. It's like it's real. It feels safe over the internet. It feels anonymous. It feels like the other person doesn't care. So I can just say whatever I want. And even then. Oh. I'm so not okay. I like to think everyone's this way, just not that okay. I like to think you're either not okay or you're just really, really stupid. Because there is so much to be not okay about. I say all that, I say that I feel more listening to music and engaging in stories than in my real life, but maybe it's just the variety that I like. It's just the uniqueness of the particular scenarios that I can vicariously live in. But even then, you can watch 20 fucking episodes of whatever. You can engage in 10 different titles. You can try and drown out your reality with fiction, but you end up feeling lonely at the end anyway. And what's the point? There are only so many books to read and only so much bandwidth you have in a day to read them. So why? Why even engage in that shit? I love it so much. It's probably kept me alive throughout the years, but why can't I just live my own life? Why can't my own life be... It doesn't even have to be good. It's just at least interesting like that. Dramatic like that. Maybe this here is even me creating more meaning out of nothing. It's just like I did with Madeline. I created so much meaning and she never felt a single shred of it. It was all in my head. And that's where meaning comes from, but I don't just want it to be for me. It doesn't mean much if it just means something to me. If everyone in the whole world, other than myself, looks at what I think is meaningful and just goes, eh. I'm gonna die someday. It's gonna be not that far away. I don't mean I'm gonna die soon, it's just 80, 60, whatever, like, it's not that far away. 52 weeks in a year, 30 years until I'm done. 40, maybe, whatever. I think that's all I have to say. I really hope I publish this one instead of like the last one where I didn't publish it, because I feel insane when I do this stuff and I don't let it out into the internet. And yeah, it is just a fantasy that someone's going to care, but it's all I've got. This right here is currently all I have. Maybe that's not true. Maybe I could tell my sister or my best friend or fucking anyone, right? But just it doesn't feel that way. It just feels like this is the only place I can be safe and open up to myself, because it is just myself. It just feels like I'm talking to myself. But I would hate for it to just be myself. What a paradox. It's a paradox, John. You see? Can't fight change. Can't fight gravity. Can't fight nothing, John. All my life, all I ever did was fight. Then give up. Oh, but I can't find my own nature neither, John. That's a paradox, John. You see? I butchered it. I relate to that quote so much. Can't fight my own nature. Can't fight nothing. Can't fight the... Can't believe I was just about to censor myself. Can't fight the wave of immigrants coming into every country. Can't fight, economic factors crushing everyone into oblivion. Can't fight homelessness. Can't fight anything. I can't even fight my own nature. I can try, but I just lazy. And it's not like I'm a bad person in every other sense. Like I'm really kind, really, really kind. I like to think that I made her feel really good today. Feel really seen. But I can just tell that she's not someone who can be with me, because I did all that extra, it's okay, you can tell me. And then you just get nothing back. It's not a sign that she's, even more reserved. It's a sign that she has nothing to say. There is no deeper thing she wants to say. There is no worry. There is no feeling, she's not suppressing her feelings and thoughts and waiting for someone to be the person that can, listen without judgment. She just doesn't have any of those feelings and thoughts. She doesn't suppress any of that. She isn't there. Oh my God, I'm fucking starving. My family, I'm wondering where I am, and it's too much. I might have to call it. I don't want to, though. I don't want to call it. What am I going to do? Wait till she does? Or, get into a point where I'm not even giving any effort into the relationship, and she just has to be on her own, basically? No. And then at the same time, that means I can't pursue anyone else, so, I'm wasting my own time. I'm wasting her time and mine. Do I just have to make a very mature decision to go, well, she's not going to understand, but it is for the better, and then just do it? Am I just afraid to feel like I'm letting someone down? Am I just afraid to get the text message like, I loved you so much? Like, why are you doing this to me? I just even thinking about it, my chest gets tight. I don't want to do that to someone. I don't want to be the same person that Madeline was to me, that so many others were to me. They gave me, I poured my heart out, and they gave me nothing. They just silence or an insult. Every day I'm pretty calm. I get my shit done, I move on, When you're so aware like I am, even when you're in a good time, you just worry about the future. Even the whole time, through the entire time of doing that thing last night, I asked her, I think like 5 times, isn't this so weird that we're strangers? Like, how is this happening? Is this okay? I almost wanted to say, I stopped myself from saying, what are we going to do? Like, what if this doesn't work out? And I stopped myself from saying it because I didn't want to ruin her moment, right? I didn't want to make her feel that way in that moment. But it's all I can think about. So what does that tell you? It means I'm far more worried about future consequences. Not that it's a competition, but yeah, like I'm trying to say that I couldn't just enjoy like a good moment with someone else. I was just so consumed by, I don't know, consumed by fear that I'm doing the wrong thing. I think that'll be it for this one. It's almost an hour long. Sorry I didn't honor the promise from like the 4th entry and start posting other things on this yet. I just haven't had the energy. And I do tend to only post on here when I'm really feeling down. I need something to vent it out through. Like I said, I hope I don't forget to post this or neglect to post this, because I can't do it right now while I'm driving. It has to be on Wi-Fi. Like, is it bad that I feel a little bit relieved that I'm not currently with her? I just met this girl, That's what I was talking about. What I'm currently talking about is that thing before, where it's like, she hasn't done me any wrong, but that was the thing with Madeline, where she did me wrong, and then it made me feel isolated. But I just feel isolated with this girl. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It was good to get it out there and like actually hash it out. I thought about more things then than I had before. Like right now, I've thought about more possibilities because I've actually stayed at the door, treated it like I'm telling someone else. See you all in the next video.